Across the country, beaches suddenly busy again, bars and restaurants buzzing, some following social distance guidelines, but many without masks in close quarters. As the U.S. death toll climbs towards 90,000. Battling outbreaks with confirmed infections on the rise in at least 8 states. Tonight, we look at what's driving those numbers, the 3 locations where cases seem to grow most, and the possible risk of taking a step backward in the fight against COVID-19. Developing tonight, the war of words between former President Obama and President Trump. What Obama told graduates about the response to the coronavirus and what President Trump said today. Into the inferno, the dramatic new images tonight of bravery in Southern California. Firefighters racing to escape a blaze when an explosion ignites. Firefighters forced to walk through a wall of flames. Pandemic murder plot? A husband facing murder charges for allegedly killing his wife. Her remains have not been recovered. Police investigating text messages allegedly sent describing an extreme case of COVID-19 days after she vanished. The tropical storm threat as Arthur, the first named storm of the hurricane season, churns off the East Coast. Plus, the severe weather expected tonight. And Zoom adoption, the family waiting nearly 2 years to adopt a baby girl they loved. And just when it was going to be official, COVID-19 hit. The lengths one couple went to give a child a forever family and the celebration that came with it.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Llamas. We begin tonight with the clearest signs yet. America is making moves to reopen, but continued concerns about whether enough is being done to minimize the risks. Warm weather and an easing of restrictions in all but 2 states, drawing large weekend crowds. These pictures from beaches in Los Angeles County, scenes that almost appear pre-pandemic. In New York City, park police using a banner to show off what 6 feet of distance looks like. Customers lining up in close quarters outside this bar in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this image from New Orleans, a table inside one restaurant separated from others by at least 6 feet. In Darlington, South Carolina, race day, NASCAR's first event back, but no fans in the stands and drivers having their temperatures taken on their way into the stadium. Several concrete steps forward as the U.S. death toll from the coronavirus approaches 90,000, with nearly 1.5 million confirmed cases here. It is a delicate new phase in the battle against COVID-19, with America balancing the reward of reopening with the potential risk to lives. We begin tonight with ABC's Trevor Ault, right here in New York.
Tonight, thousands of Americans converging in crowds at beaches and bars, scenes like this playing out across the country. And with many ignoring social distancing, the mayor of New York vowing to crack down.
We're not going to tolerate people starting to congregate. It's as simple as that. And if we have to shut places down, we will.
This weekend, the NYPD visiting thousands of businesses and public parks, carrying 6-foot banners, maneuvering through crowds.
I'm excited to see the world kind of move back. You know, we're never going to have the old normal. We'll have a new normal.
Tonight, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar discouraging reckless gatherings, but saying some level of irresponsible behavior is inevitable.
I think in any individual instance, you're going to see people doing things that are irresponsible. That's part of the freedom that we have here in America.
In California, at least 180 people now forced to self-quarantine after an infected person attended church services that were held in defiance of stay-at-home orders. This weekend, thousands flocking to beaches in Los Angeles as they open for the first time in weeks. Many ignoring the ban on sunbathing, some not wearing masks, which are required when you're out of the water.
We're not going to get close to other people, so it's chill. It's chill, but I do wear masks where I need to.
California's governor highlighting how the process of reopening the economy is far more difficult than shutting it down.
The question is, how do you toggle back and make meaningful modifications to the stay-at-home order? And that's where we're now in this point of friction and a lot of frustration.
Ohio's governor struggling with that same balancing act. Cases in the state continue to plateau, but this weekend, crowds flooded several outdoor bars in spite of restrictions.
This is really probably the most crucial time, the most dangerous time, because we are opening back up.
Florida continuing its reopening process tomorrow, welcoming back gyms, expanding restaurant capacity, and allowing vacation rentals, which are so vital to the economy, to once again host guests, though the governor says not everybody can visit.
If you tell me you're going to rent them out to people from New York City, I'm probably not going to approve that.
As the country peels back restrictions, Monday, Massachusetts will become the 49th state to start reopening. But tonight, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell warning of a long road to recovery.
This economy will recover. It may take a while. It may take a period of time. It could stretch through the end of next year. We really don't know.
Restaurant owners now telling researchers if this crisis lasts 6 months, they have about a 15% chance of survival. And businesses fighting to survive are adapting to the new normal. New Orleans nail salons taking customers with safety barriers and restaurants reopening with strict social distancing. Fishtails restaurant in Maryland going even further, rolling out new social distancing tables. And for the first time in 10 weeks, NASCAR is back without fans. Drivers getting their temperatures checked. The roar of the engines speeding around Darlington Raceway for the first time in 10 weeks.
Trevor Ault joins us now from Manhattan's Upper East Side, where, like many parts of the city, crowds have been gathering outside of bars over the weekend, some which can't open but can serve to patrons. But now the city is prepared to take action if the crowds get too big.
Oh, that's right, Tom. The mayor says they're paying close attention to this neighborhood because of those crowds, as the city seems to shift the focus of its enforcement from individuals to businesses. They only handed out 7 summons to people yesterday, but the mayor says they will fine businesses that don't comply with restrictions, and he's urging New Yorkers to report problem businesses in their communities. Tom?
All right, Trevor, thank you for that. Next tonight, battling new outbreaks despite the boldest steps to reopen yet. 8 states are reporting an increase in cases. That includes Texas, which recorded its highest daily rate of new infections, though hundreds of cases are tied to one meat processing plant. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Dallas tonight.
Tonight, Texas looking to lift even more restrictions as the state sees a sharp rise with more than 700 new cases reported near Amarillo on Saturday. Many of the cases tied to meatpacking plants, including this facility. The governor deploying a surge response team earlier this month, working to test employees in those facilities. The state seeing its highest daily rate increase as they ramp up testing. Now testing more than 693,000 out of a population of nearly 29 million.
We are testing more people, as I pointed out. So as a result, the number of people who test positive is going up.
Other states also targeting high-risk areas like prisons and nursing homes, where 1/3 of the nation's deaths have occurred, according to an ABC News analysis. New Jersey now among the states requiring testing at long-term care facilities. In Massachusetts, where they're seeing a continued plateau, they're working to boost testing to 45,000 a day by the end of July. 8 states now seeing a rise in cases, according to a New York Times analysis. This as the White House escalates the blame game.
Early on in this crisis, the CDC, which really had the most trusted brand around the world in this space, really let the country down with the testing.
The CDC's former director pushing back.
Do you think it's been a mistake for this administration to sideline the CDC?
I think fighting this pandemic without the CDC is like fighting with one arm tied behind your back.
And in New York, where they've conducted more than 1.4 million tests, Governor Cuomo getting swabbed during his press conference.
That is the whole test. I'm not in pain. I'm not in discomfort.
Governor Cuomo has also talked about the shift in testing, not only using it to contain the virus, but also to monitor the situation. And Tom, governors across the country are sure to be looking for those same signals.
Marcus, thank you. Now to the White House, and after days of attacks by President Trump, former President Obama with words of his own. Without calling him out by name, Obama telling graduates in a pair of commencement addresses the administration's COVID-19 response shows leaders don't know what they're doing. So what could this war of words tell us about the 2020 election? Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Former President Barack Obama off the sidelines, taking on the Trump administration.
This pandemic has finally torn back the curtain on the idea that so many of the folks in charge know what they're doing. A lot of them aren't even pretending to be in charge.
Obama, largely silent for President Trump's first 3 years in office, delivered a pointed critique in 2 commencement addresses this weekend.
Doing what feels good, what's convenient, what's easy, that's how little kids think. Unfortunately, a lot of so-called grown-ups, including some with fancy titles and important jobs, still think that way, which is why things are so screwed up.
That public rebuke echoing what he said privately on a leaked call with former staffers.
It has been an absolute chaotic disaster.
Obama saying he'll do everything he can to get his vice president into the Oval Office. On Twitter, President Trump firing up his base, accusing Obama of committing unspecified crimes in an effort to undermine the 2016 election and his presidency.
This was all Obama. This was all Biden. These people were corrupt.
Alleging without evidence they had some sort of illegal role in the FBI investigation into President Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn.
We have a health crisis. This is all about diverting attention. Focus on what's in front of us.
Today, the president said he had not seen Obama's recent jab, but fired back anyway.
He was an incompetent president. That's all I can say. Grossly incompetent. Thank you.
All right, Rachel Scott joins us now from Washington. And Rachel, I want to bring in on another headline here. That late-night firing of the State Department's Inspector General is sparking a Democratic investigation. Some Republicans now expressing concern.
That's exactly right, Tom. President Trump says he fired Steve Linick because he lost confidence in him. But Republican Senators Susan Collins and Chuck Grassley say that alone is not a sufficient reason. They say the president has a responsibility to provide more details to Congress on why that Inspector General was let go. Tom?
Rachel Scott for us tonight. Rachel, thank you. Next, scenes of bravery in Southern California. 11 firefighters injured, including 3 critically, after an explosion and fire at a company that makes hash oil in Los Angeles. Here's ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman.
Those firefighters scrambling across that ladder, their bridge from the inferno to safety. Then, as seen in the shocking video, that fireball erupts, engulfing the ladder and the firefighters clinging to it. Amazingly, officials tell us all 11 men caught in the flames expected to survive. 8 of them remain hospitalized from that fire at this hash oil company Saturday night. That tower of smoke looming over downtown. Officials tell ABC News that what started as a standard fire blew up like this, possibly fueled by butane used in the manufacture of that hash oil, the inferno visible from blocks away.
An explosion. I have 2 down firefighters in front of truck 9.
And more of them would go down, most of them from LA's Fire Station 9.
We have 8 firefighters injured on the sidewalk. Across from truck 9, we're working on a parked car.
Fire Station 9 is the busiest in the country, and we embedded with them over a 6-month period as they cooked their meals, responded to dozens of calls in the homeless community, and raced to fires, but rarely one as unpredictable as this.
And having seen it firsthand, Tom, I know how close-knit Station 9 is. Now, those firefighters, one of them describing to me the horror of seeing his friends burn in front of him. Now, we will see 2 investigations here. One, the standard investigation every time a firefighter is hurt, and the other will be assisted by the ATF to learn how that fire turned into an explosion. Tom?
An incredible fire. Our thoughts tonight with those injured firefighters. Matt, thank you. We move on now to the first named storm of the 2020 hurricane season. Warnings in place all along the Outer Banks as Tropical Storm Arthur churns in the Atlantic. At the same time, severe weather already hitting the south, and tonight a flood threat in the Midwest. Let's get right to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. Rob, good evening.
Good evening, Tom. Luckily, this time of year, the ocean waters are still cool, so we don't expect a powerful storm, but it's going to combine with another system that's going to worsen the impacts. Latest on Arthur, let's go over it. 45-mile-per-hour winds, 270 miles south of Cape Hatteras now, moving in that direction at 9 miles per hour. The official track shows it getting close to shore tomorrow, and that's why we have tropical storm warnings posted for the Outer Banks and then eventually turning out to sea. Computer model shows the increasing rain and wind tonight as the center gets closer. Big surf, especially on the right side, we'll see that wind. But that approaching Midwest storm that's been crushing Chicago with rain, now Detroit, another 3 to 6 inches of rain with that for a continued risk of flooding through at least Tuesday. Tom?
All right, Rob, we'll keep our eye on that. Thank you. Overseas now, and as several European nations take similar steps to reopen, ABC foreign correspondent James Longman traveled to Greece, where they're showing surprising success. But can they prevent a second wave?
Greece is emerging as Europe's unlikely hero in the battle against coronavirus. As its lockdown eases, its ancient sites prepare to reopen. The Parthenon will welcome local visitors again from tomorrow. But a modern miracle, its numbers. With nearly 11 million people, Greece has recorded just 163 deaths and more than 2,800 cases. Officials say not